screen.
Hi, my name is Yvette Diaz, and I'm the first member of the group number 6. And we are gonna talk about the direct method. My topic is its history, the proponents, and the experience. So let's begin. The direct method, also called natural method, was established in Germany and France around 1900, and it was developed by Maximilian Berlitz. He's the one that you can see here. It appeared as an answer to the shortcomings of the grammar translation method. It's a method for teaching foreign language, discarding any use of mother tongue in the classroom. The idea was that foreign language teaching must be carried out in the same way people learn their mother tongue. Let's see the experience. The class has 30 students who attend English class for an hour, 3 times a week. The teacher is calling the class to order as we find seats toward the back of the room. He has placed a big map of the USA. The one is like the one you can see here, the map of the United States, in front of the classroom. He asks the students to open their books to a certain page number. The lesson is entitled Looking at the Map. As the students are called one by one, they read a sentence from the reading passage at the beginning of the lesson. The teacher points to the part of the map, the sentence, described after each has read a sentence. The passage begins. We are looking at the map of the United States of America. Canada is the country to the north of the United States, and Mexico is the country to the south of the United States. Between Canada and the United States are the Great Lakes. Between the Mexico and the United States is the Rio Grande River. On the east is the Atlantic Ocean, and in the east is a mountain range called Appalachian Mountains. After the students finish reading the passage, they are asked if they have any questions. A student asks, where are the Appalachian Mountains? No. He asks what a mountain range is. The teacher turns to a whiteboard and draws a series of inverted cones to illustrate a mountain range. The students a mountain range is like the image that you can see here. The student nods and says, I understand. Another student asks what between means. The teacher replies, you are between Maria and Giovanni. The teacher invites the students to ask questions. Hands go up, and the teacher calls on the students to pose questions one at a time, to which the class reply. After several questions have been posed, one girl asks, where are the Appalachian Mountains? Before the class has a chance to respond the answer, the teacher worked with the students on the pronunciation of Appalachian. Later, another student asked, what is the ocean in the west? The teacher again interrupts before the class has a chance to reply, saying, what is the ocean in the west, or in the west or on the west coast? The student hesitates, then says, on the west coast. The teacher begins asking questions and making statements again. This time, however, the questions and statements are about the students in the classroom and contain one of prepositions on, at, in, or between, such as, Antonella, is your book on your desk? Or Antonio, who's sitting between Luisa and Teresa? The teacher next instructs the students to turn to an exercise in the lesson which asks them to fill in the blanks. For example, the Atlantic Ocean is beep, 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 the East Coast. The Rio Grande is beep, 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 Mexico and the United States. Eduardo is looking beep, 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 the map. Finally, the teacher asks the students to take out their notebooks and gives them a dictation. The passage he dictates is 1 paragraph long and is about the geography of the United States. Here, we can see how the teacher applied some techniques that later my friend Eugenia will talk about. But now, my friend Daniel will talk about the principles. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Danny. I'm going to speak about the principle of direct method. First, the direct method is the basic premise of the second language learning. The direct method includes a lot of reading comprehension, oral interaction, spontaneous using the language. This method is not allowed the translation. The teacher has the purpose of the student can learn the target language. Some characteristics of this method are lessons are in the target language. Another characteristics is the focus every day in new vocabulary, visual aids. For example, in this picture, you can see how the teacher is providing an object that a student can understand by himself. For example, he say, what is this that I have in my hands? The teacher, no, the student raise the hands. He say, that is the whiteboard, but it's not allowed to translate what is the mean in Spanish. There are in this method that a particular attention to the pronunciation. The principle, the first principle in the classroom, instruction is conducted exclusively in the task language. The teacher demonstrates that not explain or translate anything. In the second principle, only every day in the class have a new vocabulary are taught. In this class, vocabulary is taught through new word, demonstration, authentic objects, picture, and mimic. I have a picture here that I can demonstrate. In this paper, you can see how the student raising their hands, the teacher asking some question, and they motivate to learn a new vocabulary every day. In this method, both speech and listening comprehension are taught. And number 7, the teacher asks to the students, they make a choice than get himself to correct his own mistakes. That's called learning by self corrections. The principle 8, the syllabus is based on situation or topic. That means that the teacher assign a topic and they have to use a linguistic structures. Number 9, the correct pronunciation is emphasized in this method. Now, the next topic is about techniques that my partner Eugenia is going to speak At the end, I want to say the comparison between direct method and grammar translation. Go ahead, Eugenia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eugenia, as my partner Daniel says, and I'm going to talk about the techniques of the direct method. The first one, is reading out loud. Students take reading turns to reading section or passage that could be played in a dialogue aloud, that it can be with gestures, pictures, examples, or other things that students can understand. For example, here you can see is like a realia car. And also another can be like dancer, is a gesture that students can understand. The next technique is questions and answer. And this exercise is conducted only in the target language. I mean, students, they ask like questions and then answer in a full sentences. So in that way, they can practice the grammar and the structures. For example of this, is like, are you a doctor? The students is going to say, yes, I'm a doctor, or yes, I'm a doctor. So won't be like, are you a doctor? Yeah, no. It has to be like in a full sentence. The other one is like getting students to serve correct. Here, like the teacher has the student to serve correct, like asking questions to make a choice between what they said and alternative answers supplied. I mean, in this case, is that, for example, if the student says like something wrong, the teacher the teacher tells them, for example, if a student says, I'm a horse. So the teacher is going to say, are you a host or a horse? So in that way, the student can take the better option that is going to be a host. The other one is like a conversation practice. This one. The teacher asks the students number of questions, like in the target language, which they have to understand and to be able to answer in a correct way. In class, we observe that the teacher asks to individual students questions about themselves. For example, how old are you? Where are you from? Etc. The other one is filling in blank exercise. As my friend Eve was saying, that here the students will have to introduce the grammar rule, and they need to fill in blank the examples. For example, here we can have I can stand PPPP in this office. It's we have to select from here, and it's going to be work. I can stand work in this office. The next one is dictation here. The teacher reads the passage 3 times. The first one is going to be in a normal speak. The second one is going to be phrase by phrase. For example, in the first one is the car is red. The second one, which is by phrase, is going to be the car is red. And the last one is going to be in a normal way. You know, the first one is for the students listening. The second one is to write, and the last one is for students check what they wrote. Another example is Maria goes to the gym. The teacher is going to say at the beginning, Maria goes to the gym. Next is going to say Maria goes to the gym. And the last one is he's going to say Maria goes to the gym. The next one, as we can see here, is map drawing. The class include one example of this technique that was the ones that we could see before when Eva was explaining, and is this one. And the last one is paragraph writing. The teacher in this class asked like the students to write a paragraph about the the geographer features of the United States. And they could have done this from memory, you know, because they were like speaking about that. And also they can take like some passages in the lesson as a model. Thank you. Now, Daniel is going to continue.
Okay, as I said before, I want to compare direct method and grammar translation. The direct method avoid the close association between second and the first language. Lay emphasis on speech, follow the child natural way of learning language, teaching the language by use. That's not the teaching of formal grammar at the early stage. In the grammar translation, you can associate the second language and the mother tongue to familiarize with the second language that you're teaching, that you're learning, I guess. Then other, the grammar translation teach the language by rules like a grammar. That is more essential of this method. The the grammar translation that you can learn from the zero. That is the purpose of this method. Thank you for paying attention to me.
Another thing that I want to say about the difference between grammar translation and the direct method. The big difference is that the direct method, you cannot translate. I mean, translate is not allowed. And for that reason, the grammar translation method was used like to read literature. The direct method is like very different. So thank you so much for listening and bye-bye.